So back last semester, right? Obviously, I'm still in college. For those of you who don't know, I know some of you do. Um, minoring in history. My minor here at Williams Baptist is in history. So I'm signing up for classes. I signed up for this history class for Russia, and it's with one of the normal history professors here. Actually, the chair of the history department. Yeah, Mother Russia. Well, unfortunately, well, maybe fortunately, I don't know, because that professor's kind of difficult. He took another job at another school. So the class changes and we get a different professor. I'm now taking 20th century Europe with Dr. Kenneth Startup. Dr. Kenneth Startup is a retired history professor, retired from Williams, and there's actually a building here that's named after him. He is actually a professor emeritus. I know some of you may not know what that means. That's just like an honorary thing for a professor when they retire. Not every professor that retires gets professor emeritus. It's kind of an esteemed honor for someone who retires. Well, he agreed to, in his retirement, come fill in for the semester while they look for someone to fill the spot and teach a few classes. Well, he's a great historian, Zach, and I love his teaching. Like, honestly, enjoy the class, love going to the class. He's this very charismatic guy, super awesome. Here's why he's so awesome. It's where he got his education from, okay? It's probably why he's such a good teacher. Dr. Kenneth Startup gets his PhD in history from none other than Louisiana State University.
Go Tigers.
So,
that's pretty cool.
So we're like in class, we like this guy. We kind of looked him up because we knew he had written a few history books. Well, we run into across his education. We see he gets his bachelor's from West Georgia. We say, he got his master's from Virginia Tech, and then we saw we got his PhD from LSU. So me and Bobby, who's another friend of ours, that's a LSU friend who's done a few things with the show. We're like, hey, might as well ask him. I mean, we're thinking this guy's just like, he just got his PhD there, right? Like, that's just where he wanted to get his education from. Well, come to find out, the dude's like an LSU fanatic. Has ties to LSU from a long, long time ago. And is a huge LSU fan. And we got to talking to him, about the football hire, about, whatever. We're like, hey, you watch football? And he's like, do I? He's like, I'm a fanatic. And so, of course, I told him about our show. And so this is all kind of like, wow, that's this cool. Is awesome. Well, come to find out, the dude a long time ago was watching or had attended, one of the tournament games when Dale Brown was the coach for the basketball team. Now, I have been searching for this photo, and I've yet to find it. And he said you won't be able to find it. And he's right. So far, I've not been able to find it. He said that he got tickets.
Our listeners.
Yes. So maybe some of our listeners can help me go find this photo. Look up Kenneth Startup. You'll see his photo. You'll see all of his history books and whatnot, and then go try to find this photo. Okay? So he said he got tickets to a game behind the Tigers bench. And he said NBC took a photo of him kind of going crazy behind the bench when I guess something happened in the game. And he was going nuts. He said it's the most humiliating photo that has ever been taken of him. And he said that NBC used this photo as the promo for when LSU made it to the Final Four in that tournament.
He must have had his shirt off, slinging it or something.
I don't know, but he said it's the most humiliating photo that has ever been taken of him. And he said it was completely embarrassing. And it's freaking NBC, Zach. Like, this is a national network. Even a long time ago, this was a national network. And this guy's face is being plastered all over the nation for the Final Four promo.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. He said for years, anytime he'd go to a Tigers game, a whatever, they'd be like, "Hey, you're the fan from the Final Four promo." And he said, thankfully, the photo has been lost in history. He said that his grandkids have sworn that they will find it one day so that they can humiliate and embarrass him once again. But this photo is somewhere out there. It's got to be. And I want to find it because I want to know what old Dr. Startup.
Find it.
Oh, 60-something-year-old Dr. Startup was doing behind the Tigers bench.
Reagan, if you find it, if we find it, you're going to definitely have to show them.
Oh, I got to. I will. If I
need
find
help from our listeners, from our viewers and our listeners, if you're listening on audio podcast, you've listened to the story.
Go find the photo.
Go find the photo.
Look up Kenneth Startup.
If you find it, DM it to us on our Twitter or our Instagram.
Get this. If you find that photo and send it to me, we will send you one free item from the merch store.
Oh, shoot.
If you help me find this photo, we will give you one free item from the merch store. I need to find that photo. But yeah, if I find it, I'm showing it to you. But you can look up Dr. Kenneth Startup.
Wow.
Probably the first thing that'll pop up is Williams Baptist page and his picture. So click on that. Look at his face. Familiarize yourself with Dr. Kenneth's face. And then go find the photo. And if you find it and you send it to us, one free item from the merch store.